Good morning, good afternoon, good night to wherever you are in the world. I just want to thank you for tuning into this lovely podcast. This is the first episode of this podcast, I guess. We talk about Marvel, we talk about video games and stuff here. No really set designated topic, just kind of talk about whatever. So Overwatch 2 just recently got announced, actually. Not recently got announced, it was announced a while ago, but they're releasing new things. They've just released a trailer for it, of all that. I don't know why I got emotional during that. Have any of you guys seen the trailer yet?
I haven't watched the trailer.
Yeah, I've seen the trailer. It looks really good. I didn't get super emotional, but it seems really exciting for the game's release.
Well, I've been playing the game for 6 years, and that's like a big... I know it's weird to say, like, you get emotional over a game trailer or whatever, but Overwatch was like a humongous chunk of my life. So when I saw that and it was like talking about the new characters and a new era is beginning, I'm like, dang. Wow, it's really been 6 years. Is crazy.
The trailer just like introducing new characters?
Basically, it's like a, you know, trailers for like Breath of the Wild and Splatoon. It's basically that. It's just kind of like a quote unquote movie trailer, but for a video game. It's nothing interesting or different or whatever.
Speaking of trailers, the launch trailer was really dramatic, and
it was. That's the one that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Is the launch trailer.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Well, speaking of like you said, speaking of like trailers and whatnot, new hero, new support character, Kiriko. That's kind of crazy. I mean, I've been playing support. I've always played support. That's just kind of been my whole thing there. But she looks insane. She looks very fun to play as like a support player.
Yeah, the fact that she has so much lore already, it makes her way better than Zenyatta will probably ever be.
Yeah, they haven't even released her cinematic trailer, which I think is crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder why they haven't released it yet, because usually they release the cinematic trailer and then the origin story. I'm just waiting on the cinematic one.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
They kind of did it backwards this time. But not releasing the cinematic trailer quite yet.
Yeah, they were giving hints and sneak peeks to it, though, also. So it looks, like I said, it looks really enjoyable and really interesting. The fact that she trained, I like how they added she trained with like the Shimada brothers or whatever.
Yeah, I like the fact that she is like related to Genji and Hanzo in that way.
I love how they're moving into like not putting characters that are so much as like healers, like heal bots, like Baptiste and Moira. Those are like pretty much it's not their only job, but it's their primary job. I like how they're putting more support characters, because it's like you don't just need to heal your team, you need to support them too by getting kills, by supporting your team, peeling for other supports, peeling for your tanks. And the kunai thing, 3x damage for headshots, that's gonna be a tank buster.
I really like how they're being more like attentive towards the support role in Overwatch, because that was kind of like neglected for a long amount of time.
In the first two betas, there was nothing for supports, and I was scared because I was like, they're not really touching. The only passive that they gave them was all supports now have a regenerative passive for health. And like I played the first two betas, it was interesting. It was a lot faster paced considering that there's a complete removal of a singular tank. I think the only tanks that have their shield are Sigma and Reinhardt. They removed Narissa's shield completely. She has a javelin though, it's scary. It is terrifying. She's running towards you with her javelin ultimate, and I'm like, what the crap is this?
Yeah, that sounds really scary. Like, the fact that they removed her shield and made her more of an aggressive tank maybe will appeal to more of the aggressive playstyle players.
I like that though, that they made her more aggressive, and I think Overwatch 2 is gonna be a lot more faster paced than Overwatch 1 was, because for the longest time, Overwatch 1 was kind of just, they had the poke meta and the double shield. Double shield was awful, because it was just trading shields back and forth. One gets a kill, swipe the other team, and whatnot. I was like, ugh. Playing in high-level gameplay is also hard and difficult with those kind of compositions, because it's just poke compositions, so you're not actually really even playing the game. You're just shooting into one direct chokehold and praying you kill someone.
Yeah, even though I haven't played the game too much recently, I've experienced the poke meta a little bit, and it's so repetitive and gets really, really boring quickly.
I had to take a long break from Overwatch after, like, poke meta and double shield and whatever. I heard Reaper's actually coming back into meta. I've been seeing him a lot more in competitive recently, and I don't know what the problem is with that.
As a Reaper main, that makes me happy to see him back in the meta finally.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the Beyblade meta, but I feel like that's the only, like, true quote-unquote meta that we've ever seen him in.
Again, Reaper is just, for some reason, a very controversial character to play and just main and stuff like that for some reason, because of how diverse you can play Reaper. There's just multiple different things you can do with him.
I mean, and it kind of brings back to, like, hit scan and whatnot. Hit scan has always demolished, like, any meta. You always have to have a hit scan in any team composition. Not that you can't, if you, like, it's not if you don't have a hit scan, you're not going to win the team fight, or not win any team fights, but... Right. Recently, because this is the last season of Overwatch, people are just picking whatever they're comfortable with, and I fully support that, because I'm all in for picking what you're comfortable with and winning.
Yeah, if the devs have got to the point where they kind of reached middle ground with patches and making it to where you can basically play anything you're good at, I think that's good for the longevity of Overwatch.
I also think metas are going to be really weird and dynamic in Overwatch 2, considering the newer characters. Sojourn is basically just a railgun version of Soldier 76 to an extent. She kind of plays like him too.
Yeah. All of the new characters are, in my personal opinion, just branching off of other characters, just with new different abilities.
Yeah, but I like how they're not going with the basic kind of, this character does this and that's all they do.
Yeah, I'm glad they're not simplifying it as much as they used to.
Because now it's like, this character does this in the team fight. They can heal, they can deal damage, they can save your team, they can make game-changing plays. Like, we need more of that in Overwatch, because a lot of the heroes, especially supports sometimes, don't really have any game-changing ultimates besides Ana, Zenyatta. It's like Mercy, Moira, and things like that don't really have, I guess, game-changing ultimates.
Yeah, that's why I like that, why they're focusing on supports more instead of just kind of having them as a little side thing. And I'm just glad that Overwatch is being more attentive with everything now, instead of just kind of being there.
And just shrugging it off. Oh, here's a new event with new skins. You can starve for another 2 months until we give you a new event, kind of a thing.
So I think that leads a nice transition into new competitive changes.
I was looking at a post that they posted not like a couple hours ago, like 2 hours ago, I think, like later in the evening. They were talking about newer, like, competitive changes for Overwatch 2 and introducing different things, like unlocking competitive for like, if you guys have never played Overwatch at all and have never touched it, they have changed how to unlock competitive. It used to be you have to get to level 25, then you have competitive, but now it's where you have to win 50 games. Not in a row, just win 50 games just out of the whole time you're playing quick play.
Yeah.
And you only get access to 13 heroes now, which I think is...
For free?
For free. Only 13 characters out of the 20, 30, 35?
I think it's 35, what that said in the launch trailer.
Out of the 35 characters. I'm like,
well, that's limiting.
I didn't know how to feel about that, but then I was like, Overwatch is overwhelming for newer players, and they have gotten feedback on that over and over again. So I think slowly introducing them to different game modes and characters is actually a really good step for Overwatch. For one of the things that I thought was interesting that they changed was they added skill tier divisions, is what they talked about. Apparently SR is being replaced by, like, divisions. You know how Rocket League and, like, Apex Legends have, like, you have D1, D2, D3, D45 kind of a thing.
What?
They're replacing SR entirely with, like, divisions. It says, seeing your SR go up and down after each match almost felt like taking a test with the teacher passing or failing you based on each individual question rather than your complete work. I can't read. Oh my god. And it was basically saying each tier has, like I said, 5 divisions, going from 5, which is the lowest, to 1 to, like, which is the highest. And basically, players will receive a competitive update every 7 wins or every 20 losses of every single game. So if you win 7 games out of, let's say, 10 that you've played, you'll move up a division. But if you lose 20 games out of, like, let's say 40, if you lose those 20 games, you will be kicked down a division.
That's significantly a larger gap than what Rocket League has, because Rocket League only has divisions 4 to 1, and then you're at the next rank.
Yeah.
This sounds like it's going to take a lot longer to rank up and derank.
I mean, well, considering, like I said, you play 10 games, you win 7 of those, let's say, you move up a division. I think that's pretty, I don't want to say easy, but it's it's an interesting change. It doesn't make you feel like you're going back and forth when you're winning and losing games, because now in Overwatch, when you win a game, you're like, you only go up 20 SR, 30 SR.
Yeah.
And then when you lose, you immediately lose all of that, so you feel like you're not making any progress whatsoever.
Right.
And it can be frustrating.
I'm glad that they added that, because usually whenever people who, like, technically complete Overwatch are like, I don't really have anything to do, it takes you longer to basically be done with the game, and adding more tiers and stuff like that, and a battle pass and new characters and different ways to learn the game kind of is really interesting and makes you want to keep playing the game longer.
Yeah. It also talks about wanting to feel like, it says, we want you to feel like you're improving and being rewarded for advance from the first day you start playing competitive in Overwatch 2. So they want you to feel more like you're getting rewarded more and that you're learning from each game, which I still feel players are not really going to understand. I feel like, because this is with, I guess, every FPS team-based game or whatever, it's like, I'm not the problem, my team is the problem kind of a thing. I think a lot of players need to learn to understand that. One of the things that I struggled with was, as a support player, I was always blaming my team, but when I would look back on replays and stuff from competitive games, I'd be like, oh, okay, I could be making this positioning mistake, and I can improve that, or I could be using this ability more, like, productively, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, definitely.
And top 500 is gonna stay the same also, which I'm happy about that, because I've recently been getting top 500 recently. So I'm glad that that's staying the same. They were talking about skill decay in competitive, which I'm a little bit afraid of. It's basically what it says. Skill decay. If you haven't played the game in a while, your skill rating or division will end up decaying over time.
Well, that sucks.
I know. That's one of the things that I thought they did, but they didn't. I'm excited for these competitive changes, but I'm also not super excited for these competitive changes.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings and emotions about skill decay, but I also really like the new ranking system and SR being replaced completely.
Mm-hmm. And another one of the posts that they made was, it's called the FTUE program. It's because Overwatch is going free to play. They were talking about a Defense Matrix initiative about, like, newer players who have never touched Overwatch. It's called the First Time User Experience. They want them to welcome more, like I said, the 13 characters thing, you only have 13 characters. And the more quick play matches or matches you win or whatever, the more characters you unlock. So it'll go like Genji, and it'll go from like easiest to hardest. And the characters that you will have unlocked, I'm pretty sure they mentioned that, if you can find it.
Yeah, and I'm glad that they're doing different things for veteran players and new players alike.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't mention, but I watched BroYoAx's video because he talked about the characters you're able to unlock or you start off with for Overwatch. Like I said, I'm glad they're doing that, at least.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to talk to you guys about how you guys feel competitive will be in Overwatch 2 and how you think that will go. How you guys felt about that. Well, thanks for tuning in. If you did tune in, thanks for sticking to the end. Make sure to check out Not So Shy Guy's channel. If you're coming over from his channel, thank you for coming over and saying hi and just popping in. Even if you didn't listen to the entire thing.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it, since this is a brand new thing that I'm doing. And I think Thursday we're gonna talk about Marvel. We're gonna talk about the new She-Hulk series when that new episode comes out. Can't wait for that. That's gonna be posted on either Thursday or Friday, I'm pretty sure. So stay tuned for that also.
Yeah. And I think that's a wrap for now.
Yeah, that's a wrap.
Right. Bye-bye.
Bye guys.
Bye-bye.